What's up everyone? Today I want to share with you my very first mentoring success story. Two very special occasions happened during this meeting that I wanted to share with you today. So the first one came from our first encounter. So the alias name for this gentleman we'll use is Jay. First time that I sat down with Jay, I had a bunch of pamphlets that were given to me by the program administrating and putting us together for the mentoring session. And it had outlined a lot of different ways to go about the goals, what you should be talking about during these sessions. I looked at him sitting across the table from me and I pretty much pushed the papers aside. So right here is where the very first special occasion happened. I developed and improvised my method of mentoring. I asked him, where do you see yourself in the future? He looked at me, no hesitation, and said, I want to be in the Navy. In this, he gave me the first thing that was on his mind, and that led us to our first step, which was the discovery of what exactly it was he wanted to focus on. So the big question of what it is you want is why it is you want it. He looked up to his cousin who was in the Navy and he wanted to be like his cousin. He wanted to help people and he also wanted to be a leader. So step 2 is jumping right into it and really getting into a feel for becoming who it is you want to be. So the biggest thing we need to do is to set rules for ourselves. So some of the basic instructions that we had set up for him is that he's always looking out for helping people. He always has to make sure he's following whatever rules or guidelines he's given, because if he can't follow basic guidelines wherever he is, how is he going to follow guidelines in the Navy? And also to look out for opportunities to help lead people and to also make sure he listens. Being in the Navy and communication, I know, is key. I only met with him once a week, and during these sessions we would talk about the rules that he had set and how he applied those rules. One week he did do something negative. We had to sit down and talk about this, and we had to talk about failure. In anything that we want to accomplish, in anything that we want to do, there's always going to be failure. Figuring out how to overcome those failures is what makes us into better people. And in this instance, having to talk to him about what it was he did and how it was he failed, and that there were ramifications for his actions, we were able to set forth an air that failing is okay, but failing to listen and learn from your failures is not okay. Failure is also a very important key because it gives us the opportunity to ask ourselves, do we really want to do whatever it is we are doing? Do we really have what it takes? Do we really have the passion? Do we really have the fuel? Now, the biggest step in this process is imagination. I am very big on creativity. I am very big on imagination. Being able to see yourself and see the person you want to be, see the situations you're going to be in, brings to light two things. Do you really want to do it because of what it is you do, or do you want to do it just to make money? Do you want to do it just for fame? There's different instances. In this case, I wanted to know. I wanted to see and hear what it was he was visioning in his head, and he gave me instances where he was on the battlefield, what he would do to help people, and how he'd put himself on the line to protect people that he was with in his crew. And it was very inspiring stuff to hear, and it did, I think, more for me than it might have done for him, hearing how passionate someone is about the work that they do and why it is they want to do the work. So the most important step that I was able to find during our meeting was figuring out the insights of how it is we were going to achieve this goal. We always think about what it is we want to do. We think about maybe what comes out of what we want to do, but very rarely do we think about the person we are at the time that we achieve our goals. So the imagination step is so important to identity because we need to vision and see and feel how it is we are going to be at that moment in time. And the biggest and easiest way to do that is to be who you want to be now. Having set all of these goals in place for him, having all of these rules that he recited to me and what it is he needed to do each and every day, we were really able to nail this on the head. He was able to really be in the Navy in every situation he wanted to be in. The fun part about this, he developed the idea of creating a name for himself. This name was his future self. This name followed all the rules he had in place. This name for himself was the name he wanted to give himself when he was in the Navy, and that was Sergeant Jeffrey. This was such a big moment for me because it really did reveal to me that we all have these wants and these dreams, but we don't really think about who it is we want to be and what it is we want ourselves to feel. Having this little trigger in our minds of this image, of this name, of whatever it may be, sets forth emotions that asks ourselves, what would Sergeant Jeffrey do right now. And in every instance you work with that feeling, you are slowly but surely becoming that person that you see yourself being. So the last very special instance was during our last meeting. But during that meeting, I asked him to tell me what it was that he learned. He told me, after some thought, I learned that I'm going to be in the Navy someday. This moment right here solidified my path into wanting to become a life coach and mentor. It showed me that I was able to develop a way of helping people and seeing that process bring about real change in someone's life. And during our time together, I was able to help set forth a foundation that he was going to carry with him for the rest of his life. At some point you might have guessed, but Sergeant Jeffrey, at the time that I met him, up until our last session, was only in first grade. Give yourself an identity to hold on to. Give yourself rules. Give yourself situations where you see yourself doing whatever it is you're doing. Give yourself a name. Be a Sergeant Jeffrey, whoever it is you want to be. So my question to you is, if you had to give yourself a name, what is the name of the person you're going to become? Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to comment whatever it is your name is, or some questions and thoughts on the videos. I love commenting and sharing my thoughts as well. And until the next video, we'll see you next time.